Imagine a world where the greatest basketball players of all time are ranked, not by opinion or bias, but by the numbers. Welcome to the ultimate countdown of the 100 greatest NBA players of all time, where the cream of the crop is separated from the rest. But here's the thing. As we dive into the top 20, the competition gets fiercer, and the rankings get more controversial. Are you ready to disagree with some of the most surprising placements? Let's dive in and explore the players who made the cut from 20 to 11. If you've been following our series, you know that we've already covered the players from 100 to 21. You can check out the previous entries here: 100 to 91, 90 to 81, 80 to 71, 70 to 61, 60 to 51, 50 to 41, 40 to 31, and 30 to 21. Now let's get to the good stuff. As we enter the top 20, we're met with a mix of legendary power forwards, dominant centers, and a few surprises. The remaining players on this list are all part of the NBA's 75th anniversary team. And for good reason. They've got the numbers to back it up. But before we dive into the rankings, let's talk about the E-rank system. In earlier versions, longevity was a key factor, but as the system evolved, statistical peaks and accolades became more important. And then, there's the question of how we perceive NBA players. Do our opinions change over time as new information becomes available, or are our rankings set in stone? Now, let's get to the players. Coming in at number 20 is the one and only Jerry West, with an E-rank score of 684.5. West's career was marked by tragedy, with 8 lost NBA Finals appearances, but he always had his team in the fight. He's a 12-time All-NBA recipient and the man behind the logo. At number 19 is David Robinson, with a score of 701.45. Robinson's career was rewritten after a series loss to Hakeem Olajuwon, but his numbers are undeniable. He's a versatile and dominant player who led the league in multiple categories. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in at number 18 with a score of 708.2. At just 30 years old, Giannis has already won 2 MVP awards, a Defensive Player of the Year award, and a Finals MVP. He's a champion and a force to be reckoned with. Dirk Nowitzki is at number 17 with a score of 734.05. Nowitzki's career is a textbook hero's journey, with a unique talent and a legacy-boosting title run. He's a romantic favorite, but his numbers are impressive nonetheless. Kevin Garnett comes in at number 16 with a score of 746.3. Garnett's peak was arguably the greatest of any power forward, and he's a generational defender. If the Minnesota Timberwolves had been a competent franchise, he may have validated the conversation with Tim Duncan. And then there's Karl Malone at number 15 with a score of 789.5. Malone's placement is sure to upset some fans, particularly those of Dirk Nowitzki and Kevin Garnett. But the numbers don't lie. Malone played 19 seasons, missing only 10 games in the first 18 seasons, and he's one of 6 players to be All-NBA 14 times or more. Hakeem Olajuwon is at number 14 with a score of 823.7. Olajuwon is an iconic playoff performer with an all-time memorable series win over his longtime rival, David Robinson. He's a member of the exclusive club of players who have won an MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, and a Finals MVP. Stephen Curry comes in at number 13 with a score of 844.86. Curry has missed a lot of time over the years, but he's still a top 20 player. He's a unanimous MVP and has a near certain chance of cracking the top 10. Kevin Durant is at number 12 with a score of 867.17. Durant is a season ahead of Curry in the rankings, and the gap is close. He's the greatest scorer to ever play the game, with a unique combination of size and skill. And finally, Julius Erving is at number 11, with a score of 893.95. Erving is a cool player who won MVP awards in both the ABA and the NBA. He's an incredibly efficient scorer who won titles in both leagues. And it's unfair that he's often relegated from all-time conversations. So, there you have it. The players from 20 to 11. Do you agree with the rankings? Are there any surprises that you didn't see coming? Let us know in the comments. And if you're ready for more, stay tuned for the next installment of our series, where we'll count down the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time.